I would like to let you know that uh, there are a lot of collection sets, I mean collection classes implemented within Java. There are different ways to handle it. Okay, one is the starting from the list. There are many different implementations. Okay, and each implementation has its own advantages and its disadvantages. Okay, I'll just bring up give me a minute browser. Yeah, so this is one of the website where there are for Java documentation, that is from Oracle. And here in this place, this is what I wanted to highlight. Okay, these are some of the collections. Okay, mostly used for Ashwini, can you tell me why do we need collections? What are the advantages? Anyway, we had learned about
Yes,
array. So why
yes.
do we need collections first of all?
So, like in array, like primitive data array is a primitive data type. So, like we have to declare size of size of array before.
Hmm.
But in
So
collection, we need not declare the size. Like it is dynamic. Collections are dynamic.
yeah. So collections basically are some implementations on top of arrays and other things. Okay. So what happens is the implementation done there is so good that there are a lot of functionalities pre-built into it. Something like getting the size of it, or removing items from a particular position, replacing them, adding and swapping and doing many things. There are many implementations of it, and I mean to say that there are many functionalities which are inbuilt. Okay,
Yes,
but if you
yes.
start off with the array, they are not. You will just get the length and the size and very few functionality. But if it is an array list, or if it is a set, queue, anything, it will be yeah, it is very dynamic, and you have all the, I would say, lots of pre-built functionality into it, which helps you develop your code faster. Okay,
Okay.
but
Yes.
there are many different implementations of it, like set, list, queue, dequeue. You can see here map,
Mm-hmm.
and each implementation has its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, almost all the advantages and disadvantages has been covered by Divya in that particular video. All right.
Yes.
Um, so let me just give you just a couple of tips here. Yeah. So I'm just going to send a link over the chat window. Okay. I want everyone to make a note of that link. You can copy that link, store it somewhere, and I'm also sending you a second link. Okay. These are you can refer to this as a study material. Okay, this is the first link, what you're seeing on the screen. And this is the second one. These two links, both of them, basically they have been simplified and written in a short uh, article here on what is the difference between set, list, and map in Java. Okay, which is a very important interview question, I would say. Okay, you need to more also understand on when you will be using what.
Would you be sending the link for that?
Yeah, I've sent the link on the chat.
I cannot see it.
Even I cannot see that.
Yeah, even I cannot see actually.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
give me
receive it.
1 minute. I made a mistake. Give me 1 minute. Okay. I hope you have received one now.
Yes, Vinod, we have received.
Yeah, the second one also have sent it. Right. So basically these two links here are explaining the difference between set, list and map. Okay, what are the advantages each of them have, and when to use which one. This is the main part. Okay, so this article is more towards how you can approach the interview questions, anything related to this. This is the same thing what Divya has explained in that video. So don't worry that this is something new or anything, but it is the same thing, but put in the form of an article. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So this, I want everyone to go through this because this will help you with the interview preparation. Okay, this will be the theory part where you can tell when to use list, when to use set, when to use sorted set, and other details. Okay, three main classifications in collections is list, set, and map. All right. So
Yes.
in short, we'll just go through the last four. That is when to use what. Okay. And yesterday also I did give a little bit hint on difference between this linked list and array list, right? That is also a important question. Ashwini, do you remember
Dif
what I said about linked list and array list?
Linked list and array list difference. No.
Basically, I did say that whenever you have a
Sorted
requirement,
list. Yes.
yeah, whenever you have a requirement where you need to do a search, okay,
Search.
frequent search operation is required, then it is preferred to go with array list because array list's design is in such a way that searching is better, is faster. Okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
if you have a requirement where collection of data you're inserting quickly, I mean you
Insert.
want to insert quickly, but you don't do much of sorting or anything, I mean much of searching, not sorting, so much of searching. In that case it's better to go with linked list because the linked list design supports quick entry but
Okay.
not search faster. It can do search but it will be very slow.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, on the same lines, um, now let's talk about okay, let's see this second point here. I'll just highlight it here. Give me a minute. Yeah, the point number 2.
Mm.
So list will be used if you want to make sure uh, the sequence you are inserted has to be maintained. That is first in, first out. Okay, if you want to make sure that happens, or if you want to make sure not just first in first out, it could be first in last out or anything, but the sequence at which you have entered, if you want the data to be stored in the same order, you have to go with list.
Okay.
Okay, and that is maybe you can go with the array list. Okay, and suppose you want to have a collection and you want to make sure all the entries made in the collection are unique. So even if you make a duplicate entry, that actually gives back the previous address basically. So kind of you can't store duplicate records. If you have any such requirement, uh, maybe some content of employees or something, where you want to make sure no employee has more than one records or something, that time it is preferred to go with set implementation. Set
Okay.
implementation could be hash set, tree set, linked hash set, or anything. Okay,
Okay.
and coming to the last part, this one, if you want to store data as a key value pair, do you understand what is a key value pair, Ashwini?
No, like in value we store the value, and in key I don't know what do we store.
Okay, key value pair, I'll just explain it
Mhm.
briefly. Give me a minute. I'll just open up my Eclipse. Here's my Eclipse. Give me a minute. Okay, so I'm just expanding this. Give me a minute. Yeah. So I think example two. Yeah. Today let's create a collection example 3. Okay, the folder.
Okay.
I'll create an entry class, make it public static void, and finish it. Okay, here let me try to explain what it is when I say key value. Okay, now
Okay.
um, if you want to have something like dictionary, okay, where you have words, okay, and followed by its definitions. Okay, this is a key value pair where words is unique, okay, and words, each word have its own definition, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, so this becomes a key value pair. Okay, let's take another example. If you have list of employees, okay, you want to make sure all employees are unique, so you can follow this map if you want. So you can say employee ID, this will be the key, okay, and
Okay.
employee object, this will be the object. So employee object could have anything like uh, name, age, date of birth, and many other details. Okay, but
Okay.
employee ID would probably be a string which is unique. Okay, so such combinations is called a key value pair, where keys are unique and every key corresponds to an object. Okay, and if you want to get the details of the particular object, you can use a collections method to give ID and retrieve the whole object. For
Okay.
example, if you have employee ID 4, the particular employee you can get back and operate on it. So the collection has options to do that.
You mean map, hash map?
Yeah, map.
Okay.
Okay. All these details are explained well by Divya. Okay, and please go through the two materials which I have given. Okay,
Yes.
with that
Yes.
it will be good. Yeah. Yeah. Currently, yeah, whatever you have sent is correct. Okay. All right. So moving on. Today we'll see some practical examples of the usage of maps and lists. Okay. So first, let me give you a minute. Can you give me 1 minute? I'll just get something. Give me 1 minute.
Yes, Vinod. Okay.
This will be a small project we are working on. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just maximize this. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that we have 5 different locations in the map. Okay. One being the road, 2 being the hill, 3 being the building, 4 is the valley, and 5 is the forest. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have um, I would say we have directions marked here. So if you really see here, uh, from road you can go to forest.
Yes.
So you can see the arrow mark indicating that. And from forest you can come back to road.
Yes.
Okay. From road you can go to the building and come back to from building you can come back to road. But there is no direct connection between building and forest. Do you see that in the map?
Yes.
On the same lines, there is a way to go from valley to hill, but hill to valley is not possible.
Yes.
On the same lines, from road to hill you can go, but you cannot come back the same direction. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see? Do you understand the map here?
Yes.
And you have the direction of which direction is north. Okay.
North.
Okay. Now we will write a small code for this to be actually implemented. Now I want to write a Java code to implement this game logic. Okay, let's assume that this is a game, adventure game. Okay, and we want to uh, actually create a Java code to do this. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay, I have just increased the size of the adventure map. You can
Yes.
see that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll be creating a Java code to implement this. Can anyone suggest how do we start off? Ashwini
Start
or
from
anyone?
road.
Yeah. So how do we start off with the Java coding?
Okay.
Any idea?
So no.
Anyone can tell, not just Ashwini.
So you have to walk or what we have to do? What's the action?
So you have
Can
to
we do
walk.
it? X and Y
Okay.
coordinates,
Win-
like go north, south.
Yeah. I'll tell
Uh,
you the solution. I want you to come up with solutions, different solutions. So I want you to think it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Vinod, here,
We can create a
I
class with
think
different directions and
We need to create a different class.
Vinod,
Mm-hmm.
we can do
methods.
something like we can first take a map. So
Mm-hmm.
let's suppose I'm taking one map one, and the key will be road first, and
Mm-hmm.
map will have the value as list. So in that list, I'll have valley, like whatever from road I can navigate. Like from road, I can go to building, forest, hill, and valley. So I can put all that four in that list and put it as a value.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Okay.
same way I can take building as a key, and then from building where I can navigate. So I can put that thing in that list as a value. Like I can do in that way. So
Okay.
it's like there'll be in that map there'll be 5 key with road, forest, building, valley, and hill, and the value will be a list, which from road whatever we can navigate, that in that list that values will be there. So I think we can do it in that way.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Vinod, actually, we have to find out different navigations to different places, like from road to building or forest or hill, that way, or what is the question actually? I mean,
The question is more on, see, this is the map, okay, and I want to create a game using Java to navigate through this map. If you remember in yesterday's video or day before yesterday's video, I gave you a short scanner app, right, where you can dynamically type in the values, and you can using that dynamically typed values, you were kind of getting a dynamic result, right? On the
yeah, yeah.
same lines here, I need to get some write some dynamic code where it should let me to move from road to the hill, but not hills to the road.
Okay, we have to enter from and to locations, and we have to find out the path.
Yeah, kind of. So my question is more on, see, I'll
It's
show you the
like
solution. If I show you the solution, sorry, 1 minute, I'll just repeat my question. If I show you the solution, right, you'll just fall in this particular direction. What I want to do is think over for some time and see how you can implement this. The only clue I can give you is you can do this with collections. Okay, you need to have some kind of a collection to do this, and think about which collections will help you. I'll just pause the video. We can discuss for maybe 5-10 minutes because this is important. Yeah. So all I was saying is, now that we have got understood that we have 5 different locations, and each location has an ID and a name to it. So for example, a road is ID 1 and the name of the location is road. The 3 is the ID for building, and the name of the location is building. Correct?
Okay.
So first of all, we need to have a class for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and put that class, and the whole map is nothing but a list of 5 locations. Correct?
Okay.
So first of all, let's start with that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's first design it. Give me a minute. Let me go to my Eclipse, and let me rename this. Refactor, rename. I'll name it as adventure game. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's not creating it, so I'll just close this and I'll create a new one. Okay. Give me a minute. What is the problem? Give me a minute. Okay, someone has a question. Chandana, can you unmute and speak up, please? I'll just unmute you. Give me a minute. Yeah, Chandana, what is your question?
Yeah, so my question is, I didn't understand in the question in the project, what is the goal of the project? Do we have to find the shortest path, or so I understand that we have 5 markers, 5 elements, but what is the end goal of the project? Is my question.
Okay. The end goal of the project is to replicate the scenario. Okay, you have a scenario that is a map here where you have 5 different locations and you are allowed to navigate from one location to another location. Okay, and but there are limitations on from which direction you can go. That is, for example, the only way you can go from valley is the hill and to the road. You cannot go to building or forest.
So
Okay.
Vinod, can we use like a hash map in this and like store treat the road, building, valley, hill as a key and the corresponding IDs as values, and we can like fetch the values from the hash map on the fly and say if I've got one, I can put a condition to move to hill only or
Yeah, that's what.
to the building.
That's what. Yeah, yeah. You're pretty close. Okay. So others, if you have not understood what he said, also is fine. Let's proceed, and you'll understand the whole concept here. Okay. And to answer someone, I think Chandana's question, the idea behind this is to replicate a real world scenario. See, you can have such a real world scenario, right? Where you have 5 locations and there are limitations from which directions you can go. Okay, and this real world scenario has to be created into a dynamic game. Okay, and I'll be showing you how to do it. So mainly I wanted you to give a try just to understand that how to think about this solution. Now I'll give let's start working on the solution. The first point and the hint I gave you was we have 5 different locations. So first of all, we need to have a class 4 location. Okay, so let's do that. Give me a minute. Yeah, so we are into this. We don't need this. Let's create adventure game. Did I? No. Okay. I have a new package called adventure game, and let's create an entry class, or let's call it a play. Play entry play. I'll call it entry play. Okay, and let's have a public static void main here. And next, inside the same adventure, we need to have another class. Call it as location. Correct? You agree, Ashwini?
Yes.
Let me just name it location and finish. Yeah. Now this location needs to have uh, 2 properties. One is our location ID
and ID. Okay.
and string as a description. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's have a constructor. Okay. And inside the constructor, this let me put it here. Okay. So the reason I'm declaring this as final is because I know my location IDs and descriptions will not change during the course of the game,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I have declared this as final. Now let's go to our go to our main class. Okay. Tell me what we'll do in this first.
So first we need to put the values in location ID and description.
Yeah. So let me do that. So first of all, we need to have a map, right? So that we have a key value pair. Correct?
Okay.
For all the 5 locations. We have 5 locations, and each location has um, a key and a value. Key is nothing but your ID, and the value is nothing but your name. So here we have 5. 1 is road, 2 is hill, 3 is building, 4 is valley, 5 is forest. So all the 5 values can be stored as a list sorry, not as a list, as a map, because we need a key value pair. Okay, so let me declare that. Give me, I'll just increase the size of this. Okay, now you can see my screen big, right? Yeah. Now let me add this. I need to import the util. I've imported it. Okay, for the map as well. Let me make it a star. Okay, now you can see I have locations, and now we can actually keep entries for all the 5 locations. Let me show you.
Can you please explain me this line, private static map integer?
Okay, basically we have a local variable called locations, correct? We need see the line number 13 to 18. I'm declaring 5 different locations. Okay, and all the sorry, here it is 6 different, actually, from 0 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and on each position I'm just telling you where are you exactly. Are you in the sitting on see, we have a map here, right?
Yeah.
This is actually replicated here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But the first line, private static map integer location.
now you need to have a variable to store this, correct? That is what is locations.
Okay.
And this is supposed to be given a type, right? So this is not an integer or a string, this is a map, because map is actually a collection with key and value pair. In our case, from the example we saw, we know that the key is actually an integer, 1 2 3 4 5. It's
Yeah.
integer, right?
Yeah.
And location is actually our property which we just now created here, which has a location ID and description.
So map is it is a collection type, right? Map collection
Yeah,
type.
yeah. So
Which
map collection,
will take 2 values.
yeah, key and a value.
So it takes only 2, or it is depends on, you can have
It
any
will
number
only
of.
take No, it will only take 2. It can take n number of objects, but I mean n number of objects to be added. But here we can see in this case we have added 6 of the items, but every item should be a key and followed by a value.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this case we have added 0 to 5, and 0 being your starting position. I've just added a description which says you're sitting in front of the computer learning Java. Okay. From 1 onwards, it will be
Vinod,
like,
one
yeah.
question. You say put 0 comma new location, then again you have 0 comma and description. So how is the syntax? Like it's just key comma value, right? For that.
Actually, this is the value. I'll just highlight it. Give me a minute.
Starting
This
from
is
no.
the this is the location. Now we need to create 6 different locations. One is your starting point, that is your nowhere, and from sorry the 0, and 1 is actually your road, right?
Right.
2 is actually your hill, 3 is actually your building. So on the same lines, we have created objects like this, and after creating, we are putting into location. If you want to make this even simplified, let me do it. You can declare something like location L1 equal to this. I'll just put this. This is our 0th location. Okay. Now location L2 equal to this.
Okay. So we're creating each object for each
Yeah.
location. So
Then we need to have the all the locations in a list, right?
right.
That is our map.
So okay.
So you can say L0, 0th location. Then you can have L1, and then again here you can say L2 equal to something, location L3 equal to something. I'm just creating it, give me a minute.
Vinod,
And
why are they repeating that those numbers, like the integer and even in the location
wait,
we are
one
again
minute,
putting in 0, 1.
let's go step by step. Give me a minute. I'll complete this, then you ask me the question. Okay. Now, have you understood till line number 18 this much? We have 5 locations. With the entry location, we have made it 6 locations, 0 to 5. Is this much clear? Whatever I have selected. Anyone having questions in this?
So we know the entry location, what is the purpose of that, the L0?
Just starting. You're yet not yet started the game, so you will be nowhere, right? So for that reason, I've just
We
put
all,
it.
okay.
Anyone else having any questions here?
Is L0 an object?
Yeah.
All those. Oh, okay.
So here
Right.
you created the different objects of location and you send the pair of information, right?
Yeah.
That mapping.
Every location will have ID and a value.
Okay.
Oh, key value pair. Okay.
It's actually not a key value pair. It is just a class here. See, I have a class. I don't have any key value pairs here. I just have a location with 2 properties. One is the ID and string. I'm creating the constructor with ID and string. That's all. This is nothing, no collection here.
Okay.
So till here we have not created any collection. We have just created 5 different location objects.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I want to have a list of this, that is a collection of this. So I'm using a map because every location I want to give a key value pair. All right.
Okay.
Vinod, would it be possible for you to explain in a notepad, like as a picture of the objects and
I
the
think
map?
see, I think this is very simple, right? How do I put it in the notepad? See, we have you can consider this itself as a map. So when I say line number, say example 14, okay, I am creating this square. Okay, when I say line number 15, that is L2,
Okay.
I'm creating the hill, that is the square. Okay, now I need to have a list of all these items. So I am putting it into a collection, and that is a map with the integer and as a key and location as a see.
Value.
How,
I can see why you are getting confused.
I got
Shall
it,
I
Vinod.
see if in case if I had done this here instead of this location, let me change this to a string. Let me comment out all these things, and directly here, if I had created maybe empty, that is starting point, or maybe let me name it start. If I had named this as road, and then this is hill, right? Then 3 is building, What is 4? 4 is a valley and 5 is forest. Is this clear to everyone? This part is clear, right?
Yes.
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. Now, the reason I did not do this, I'll tell you that. Okay. I'll change the system. Now, if you have just the list of this as a string, right? Now you cannot have any properties to the road. You cannot have any properties to the hill. Do you agree? All I can get is length of the string. I cannot say something like what are the directions I can go. See, from road there are limitations, right? I can go to all the 4 directions, and from the hill I can go only to the forest. I cannot go to any other things. So every location has many properties. Do you agree?
Yes.
Some or the other properties it has. Correct?
Yes.
Keeping the data type as string, that is in the map, you are limiting yourself not to have any properties attached to it. Okay.
So we are
For example,
casting it like an object here to.
yeah. So instead of a string, I have an object here. I mean a class, and then I'm creating a object of it. For example, let me have say, for example, let me say I have a private. I can say points. Sorry, I need to keep it as int. Okay. Now let's keep this public just for simplicity. Okay. Now what I mean to say is our location 1. This will, if once the player reaches this location, he should get 5 points. Once the player reaches this location, he should get 3 points. If he comes here, 2 points. If he comes here, 0 points. If he comes here, 9 points. Something like that. Okay. Do you think keeping it as a string is will work out for you?
No.
Because you'll end up creating 5 different if-else conditions. If it is road, add these many points. If it is building,
Yeah.
add these many points, right? But
Yes,
if you
Vinod.
have if you use the concept of composition, where you have all the properties and everything defined inside the object itself, then it will be easy for you. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So the road will have something called as scope points, and that will be 5. Hill will have a points, that will be 3. This will have a point, that will be 2. This will have a point, that is 1. This will have a point, that is 9. So everything will be encapsulated within the object itself, and it will be easy for you. You don't have to write too many if-else conditions. Agree? And it will be dynamic in nature. Say suppose in future you get another object here. Okay, you don't have to change your code, you just have to create a new object. You don't have to write another 6th if-else condition. All right, so for that reason we should not be creating this as a string. Do you agree, or anyone still having a question on this?
That makes sense to me, Vinod.
Yeah, others, anyone having questions, please raise your hand. All clear on why we are not having it as a string and we are having it as an object? Chandana, I see your hand raised. Can you unmute and speak up? What's your question?
No, no, this was regarding the previous thing. I just forgot to.
Okay. No problem, no problem. All right, so everyone understood why we have as an object, right? So now because we have as an object, we need to declare objects like this. So let me do undo. So I need to have objects. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay, the first what I had done was I just had created this here, nothing else. Okay, why is this giving error? Okay,
I think the constructor we have to change back.
What do we have to change here? There is nothing like a point, so I'll just remove it. Uh, yeah, there's a one. I just did not save the file. That's all. Okay. So far you have understood. So what I
So,
had done was this new
Vinod,
itself. I had to put it here. That's all.
Vinod, I have a question. So, in the map collection, we can send ob objects also as parameters, right? You can
You have to be. It has to be object. It cannot be primitive data type
an object, right?
in this collection. Yeah, that Divya would have already said in that. So even if it is an integer, you cannot use int. You have to use the wrapper class integer. All right.
Yeah.
Clear so far?
Yes.
And also, you're sending the location object also, right, in the
Yeah.
map.
Yeah. That is also an object. All right. Clear?
Yes, Vinod.
Yes,
Okay.
Vinod.
Now let's do some more changes. Now, sorry, give me a minute. I'll just declare one more thing.
Vinod, one question here. You are saying private static map and new hash map. So we have to use hash map there, new hash map instead of only new map.
Yeah. Map is only an interface. Hash map is the implementation class. Okay, just like how list is an interface and array list is an implementation, right? So actually, you can also make this as a hash map. If you're confused with that, just copy this and keep this here. Now is your confusion gone? We are using hash map.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Vinod, why was it given as map before? Is it like just like that,
It
or
is just
is
a
it
parent class. I mean, just like we used to have a parent class and a child class where we can declare it as a parent so that it's common, right? So just like that, actually map is not a parent class. It is just an interface, implementation interface.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So on the same lines, now let's come to the location. Now, what else does this location have? You understood this cannot be a string. Now, this has to be an object. So every object has a property. Now, we need to have a property called as exit. Okay. So what does that do? Every let's say here, yeah. Let's take an example of hill. The only exit possible is to the north. Correct? There is no exit on the south, east, west. Correct? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Because you can only go to the north. On the same lines, road has exit on all the four directions. Building has exit on only the this is probably north to then west. Yeah, west. And this road, sorry, the valley has exit to the west and the north. Correct? So
But
every
Vinod, it is not direction we are considering, right? Locations, right? ID and location.
you can keep it as location. Let's keep it as direction so that we can play it as a game.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, let me create a variable that can hold all the exits for us. All right. So we have to do it in a location because each location has different kinds of exits. I mean different exits. Okay. What is this error? Okay. We need to initialize that. So what I'll do here, in the constructor we need to initialize and say this dot exits, because I have declared it as final. Even the exits are not going to change, right? So I have declared it as final, and I can make new hash map of type string, comma integer. You'll understand why I do it as a string integer. Give me a minute. Then I'll go to my entry play here. Here I will add some code. Okay. I need to add a function as well to add it. Give me a minute. So you understood why we need this variable, right? Now
Yes.
we need to add something to the variable, right? So we need to add all the exits. So I will say I'll create a function here which will say add exit. Okay, it will just get the direction and the location. So you have a location, every location has an ID, right? So you'll understand this pretty soon. Give me a minute. Now in the entry play, observe what I have done. From the location, we are adding add exits. So basically what I'm doing, location dot get one will return our L1, correct? Do you agree? Location dot get one. It will get the item in index 1. Yes, no, Ashwini?
No, I'm trying to get like see what you
Okay.
Yeah.
Locations is actually a list.
list.
Yeah, collection. So
Yes.
from the collection, I am getting the first item. That is actually the second item. So it is index 1.
Okay. Okay.
And that will give us L1, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
L1 is nothing but our road, correct?
Yes.
And for the road, we have to add 4 exits, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So I'm adding towards the west, we have location 2, that is hill. Okay.
Okay.
And towards the east, we have location 3, that is building.
Yes. Yes.
Towards the south, we have 4, that is valley. And towards the north, we have 5, which is the forest. So
Yes.
with these 4 lines, I have added 4 exits for the
Road.
L1,
Yes.
for the road.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
On the same lines, now this is the exit for our 2 is what? Hill.
Hill. Yes.
And this is the exit for 3, that is building, which is to the road only. Okay. And
Yes.
on same lines, for this one, for 4, that is valley, we have 2 exits, one to the hill and one to the road. So then W, E, S, N, all these are north, south, east, west. Okay. So has everyone understood all these lines?
Yes, Vinod. Seems very interesting.
Yeah. So let's do a small recap. So to start off, we had to create a game so that we can play this. Okay. And so far, all our inputs, we don't have a joystick or anything to play as of now, right? All we have is just a console. And usually we want a console and we can type in and it will give you the results. So we are doing such kind of a game. Don't imagine we are doing a console game. We are not doing, I mean, we are not doing a PlayStation game or anything. We are just doing a very simple console game, like printing something in the console and working. You'll see at the end of the game, you'll see the result. It will be interesting. Okay. Now, we are trying to create a business scenario where we can make use of collections. Okay. First option is we have 5 different locations, and including the starting point, that is 0, we have totally 6 different locations, and every location has different properties. One is the location ID, location name, and also location other details like exit. So we created a class called location and gave it 3 properties. Okay. In which exit is actually a hash map, because we have to add direction and the position it can move, correct? Let me show you that. Let me go to the location. This has to be a hash map because the string has to be the direction. What is towards the north? What is towards the east? We have to define, right? Ashwini or
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, Vinod.
So we need to have direction plus which location it is going. So for us, location has a key as ID, right? Which is an integer. Every location has an ID. So
Yes,
for
Vinod.
road it is 1, for hill it is 2. So we are creating a hash map as string comma integer. That is the direction comma ID where it can move, and that becomes the exit. And the reason this is a collection, because we have, for every location there are multiple. For example, road has 4 different exits, so it has to
Vinod,
be a
what is
collection.
that exists in the hash map?
Exit.
Yeah, exists. What is it, a keyword or what it
No, it is
does?
not a keyword, it's just a variable. It is just a name given to the variable. The reason I named it exit is because from particular location you can exit in this particular direction. For example, if you are in valley, you have 2 exit doors. You have, just like you have a fire exit on your any malls or anything, right? You
Okay.
have, from every location you have exits.
Yeah.
That is, from here you can exit to the road, from here you can exit to the hill, but you cannot exit to the building.
Okay, it is a
Right?
variable you defined of
Yeah, it is
hash
just,
map type. Okay.
yeah, it is just a name of the variable. Or you can also name it as anything. You can, if you want, if you like the word out, you can name it as out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Okay, I just kept it exit because it's much more meaningful. For every location we have a exit, I mean list of exits. Okay, and we did not use just the array list because we wanted a key value pair, because we wanted to have the direction as well. If it was just number of exits, I could have kept maybe a list, array list, correct? But we
Yes.
wanted to make sure even the direction is marked here. So for the valley, this is not only if you go to the north, you will get this exit. If you go to the west, you will get this exit. Correct?
Yes, Vinod.
Everyone clear on this particular line? Why we have it as a hash map and why
Yes,
we have it
Vinod.
as string and integer? Everyone clear?
Yes. Vinod,
Yeah.
Yes.
why we have taken the zero location?
0 is just because we are yet starting the game. Another something which is not in the map. Assume there is another position here, empty position, as called as 0, starting point.
Real.
Okay, I have just not drawn this map, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, now moving on, our entry gameplay, you understood why we have these locations and we are adding it into the hash map. Here also we are adding it into a hash map because every location has an ID, so we are adding that. Okay, so when I say 0, I need to get the 0th location. When I say 3, I need to get the 3rd location. So for that reason I'm doing this. Okay, so here get is actually giving the key, because there's a key value pair, right? If I send the key, it will give me the object. That is, when I say get 1, it will give me anything which is tied to this 1. That is L1 in this case. Say for example, just as an example, okay, I'll just revert my code. Okay, just as an example, I'll do small modification. This key here is an integer. Okay, I made it integer because I have 1 2 3 4 5 marked in this map. Okay, if I keep this as ABCD, I can keep this as string. Okay, I can also put this as A and this as B, and here while I do a get, I can do A or a B. Is that clear?
Yes.
So don't come if it is a array list, this would have been get index, get by index. Here it is not get by index, it is get by key. Be clear on that. And the key
Okay.
could be an integer, it could be a string or anything. Are you getting the point? The
Yes.
reason we are keeping it as integer is because in the diagram I showed you, I have it as an integer. Simple as that. All right.
Okay.
So let me revert back. So don't come under the impression that I'm doing a get by index. I'm not doing a get by index. I'm doing a get by key. This is a get by key. Okay. Even if the key is not a key, is something like, for example, instead of this, key is like A, B, C. This will still work by doing a ABC here. Are you clear?
Yes.
All right. Let me proceed then. Okay.
Vinod,
Now.
this sorry, I have a question actually. This dot put and dot get functions, these are all self-explanatory. Like, how do we know?
Yeah, actually, if you remember, I told you for array list, when you do a dot, you get
Yeah.
lot of functions,
Yes.
right? Just like the array list, all the collections have very similar functions. So here you can see there is contains remove. I'll just take it. Contains remove. Sorry, I cannot do both. See, there are contains remove, key set, put, get.
So based on what we want, we have to just select from here, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, it's actually, yeah, self-explanatory. Kind of common sense would help you. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So put is nothing but just like a add. When we used array list, we used to do add and get, right?
Yeah.
On the same lines, add is nothing but put in case of a map.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So as on we keep doing, we get used to the functions then probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think in the video what I have shared, Divya's video, she has explained those things.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay. So if you watch that again, you'll understand.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
I don't want to repeat the same what Divya has said. Instead, I want to give a practical scenario where you can make use of it.
Yeah. Right.
This feature you cannot achieve using array list. Do you agree? Because it is multidimensional.
Okay.
If you want to achieve using array list, you have to do a huge amount of if-else conditions. But I don't want to do if-else conditions. I want to keep it dynamic and easy to play. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So far you have understood everything?
Yes.
Okay. So, anyone having any questions on whatever I have covered so far?
So Vinod, so in the line number 28, location dot get one will give you a key, right?
No.
A value.
Is the key. Yeah, it will give you a object.
Value.
That is
right. Okay.
And
so
to that
that
object you are adding exit, because one minute. This will give you L1, that is of type location, and location has a function called add exit. Correct? So I can keep this as anything.
Okay, we are adding to the new map. Got it.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So we are calling this function from here to add something, and this function takes two parameters. One is our string, that is the direction, and the other one is the integer, which is the location ID. See, direction and location we are taking, and we are just adding to this hash map.
Exit hash map. Got it.
Got it?
Yep.
You can just do L1 dot add exit. That's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you want to do that, yeah, we can do that. So that's a good point. We can do that as well. So even before adding it here, okay, maybe here itself, we can say L1 equal to L1 dot add exit, and give all this. That's actually a good point. It makes even much easy to understand, right? Let me do this and replace this with L1 instead of using the get. Now it is much more easy to understand. Yes, no, Ashwini?
Yes, Vinod.
Yeah. All right. So you can make the changes for this one. Okay. Do you want me to do it?
It's okay.
It's easy. I'll just do this part.
So is this a common application to create online games with Java, Vinod?
No.
With the
You will
gaming
never
app?
see this. This is just a
You never
imaginary.
use.
Yeah, you will never
Okay.
have this. I'm just trying to create a sample for use of collections map. That's all. All right. So is this clear now? Better to understand?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. All right. So far everyone good? Would you like to take a break or shall we continue? Who needs a break? Please raise your hand.
Maybe you can leave us 10 minutes early and continue.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Majority wins always. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Only 3 of you need a break, so I cannot give you. I'm sorry. So let's continue. All right. I think others are finding it very interesting. They want to continue, right? Am I right?
Yes, Vinod.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So yeah, let's
Vinod, 1
proceed.
minute. This
Mhm.
I now understand that you have put L1 dot add exit off. I understand that. Now I don't
Mhm.
I don't understand why we have line number 37. It's not necessary, but I just don't
See,
know why we have did before.
okay. Let me comment this.
It's
Okay.
not necessary. I
No,
understand because
let me
instead of that
comment
only
this.
we put L1 dot add exit off. That right?
No, have you understood till line number 33?
Yeah.
Now tell me. I'll go to the map. I
Okay.
want to get, um, say, valley. How do I get it? I have to say L4.
Okay.
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 If I want to get forest, I need to say L5.
L5. Yeah. Yeah.
Now L4 and L5 are they not static? They're not dynamic, right? If I want to say when I give the key 4, I should get valley. If I give the key 5, I should get forest. So I need to have a function which will return me based on the key I type in. So I want to
Whether
see
it's
when I
forest
play
or
the game. When I play the game, right?
uh-huh.
I don't have a fixed path. I can go see. Say I start, for example. Let's say you are player number 1. Shweta is player number
Oh,
1. It's Shweta, right? Who's asked me the question?
yes.
Yeah. So Shweta is player 1 and Vinod is player 2. Okay. Shweta starts from the road, goes to the forest, then goes to the hill, and goes to the road again. Okay. Vinod is player 2. He goes from road to building, building to road, then road to forest, forest to road. That is a different direction. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
I take different direction, you take different direction. And how do I guide my direction? Dynamically, I can turn here and there, anywhere, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
dynamically, when you need to have a function which is capable of returning based on the key you type in. So here we can type in like, if I press 1, I mean to say I want to go to the road. If I press 5, I want to go to the forest. If I press 4, I want to go to the valley. So I want to
Okay.
keep my code dynamic. So to make it
Okay.
dynamic, I need to have all the items in a list. And the list I cannot just say list of array list I cannot use because it should return
I
based
needed
on the,
key. Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are not indexed here. They are actually keys.
Okay.
So for
Okay.
that reason, I need to have all the locations in a collection. And I have chosen map for that hash map because I need a key value pair. Did I answer your question? I know it is a little bit complex for a fresher. But if you watch it couple of times, try to
Yeah,
understand.
if I watched a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, you'll understand it. See, the reason my classes are difficult is because I'm not teaching you theory here. I'm trying to map a practical example to a theory. I can just keep telling you hash map is nothing but key value pair. I can tell you array is just a list. You'll understand that. But when it comes to the practical scenario, like designing a game like this, you will just be lost. I don't know how to start it on.
Yeah, that's true.
So I want to give help you on
We
this
need to
part.
read the theory and then understand this.
Yeah, that's why I actually, to be frank, I'm actually a little bit disappointed because I shared the video a couple of days back, and I had mentioned in the email clearly that you have to go through before the next classroom, and almost like 40% of the classroom did not do that. I'm disappointed in that actually. I hope you don't repeat that, because when I send a video, it is with a purpose that I'll be covering it in the next classroom, and you need to go through that so that you understand the next classroom. Otherwise, you'll be lost, definitely, right? So please don't repeat that for the next classroom. Whenever I give a video, please go through that before. And whenever I send an email, just don't assume that it is just a forward like a daily email. Please go through that. I may have included something specific. All right.
Vinod, my question is, in this case, why do we have to use the hash map? Why not hash set or link to hash map?
Okay, so for that you need to have a difference between map and a set. Set and map. Set is actually only a collection. It is not a key value pair. Map is actually key value pair. That is the difference. And that was actually explained by Divya, and I also gave you a link, right? That link also will explain the thing in detail.
Okay.
Okay.
So the hash set also doesn't have the key it just stores with the hash values, but it
Yeah,
doesn't. Okay.
it's not a key value. Okay, right? So actually, that is actually the practical reason. If you group it in all together, right? Java's collection is mainly having 3 or 4 major types: array, a list, not array list, just a list, map, set. These are the main thing. Okay, list is just like array list. Set is having a feature that everything you add will be unique, and map is key value pairs. Okay, there's just a short summary. You can go through the links and understand this much more.
Vinod, so like what are the famous collections? Like which collections are mostly used in like companies?
There is nothing like famous and not famous.
Okay.
It is more on the scenario. If you
So
want
all
to,
of them are used?
all of them are used based on the scenario. That's what I have a link, right? See, I'll go back to the link now. Here, I think it is here. Yeah, here I have a section which says when to use list, when to use set, and when to use map. Okay, if you need to access elements frequently, that is doing search, okay, then array list is the best. If you are using, if you need to get the order, whichever order I have added, the same order it should be, then you need to go with list.
Okay.
You can go with the array list itself, some list. Okay. Next, if you want to make sure you don't have any duplicates, go with a set. Okay. And if you want to have a key value pair, go with a map. That is in short, I have explained you what is explained in this paragraph.
Okay.
Okay. So when you talk about there are many versions of it, of many versions of set, many versions of map, many versions of list. Those things I think Divya has covered whatever is required. I wouldn't say that Divya has covered 100%. I would say that whatever Divya has covered is more than enough in terms of interview questions, part of theory.
Yes.
I am giving you a practical example. Now don't confuse yourself with more than what I have told. Keep it simple. Yesterday we learnt about array list, correct?
Yes.
So that is a practical example of where you can use array list. Now today we are learning a practical example for map, where which everything is a key value pair. I have not given you anything for set, because set is very simple. It is just like array list, just that you will have everything unique. You cannot add duplicates. That's the only difference.
Okay, Vinod.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Okay.
But even in array list, we cannot add duplicates, no? Because in grocery list, we entered milk again and again. It didn't come only once.
No. We were replacing it. You can add in array list. You can add.
Okay.
We just didn't do it, but you can add. You can try it if you want.
Okay.
Alright.
And we know
Yeah.
sorted values are stored only in set, right?
Sorted.
Values.
Yeah, that's covered by Divya. I see. If I the reason, see, I don't want to give too much information in this classroom, because I know that whatever information I've given you already is confusing you. So I'm cutting short many things. So let's not go into those part. Okay. You can, if you watch Divya's video, she would have covered all those topics. So I don't want to tell what is sorting, or I mean, why is it unique and will it give exception or not. Let's not go there at all. Let's keep it simple. Understand why location is not a string. It is just it's an object. First point. Okay, I'll maybe I'll write key takeaways. Shall I do that here? First point. Why location is not a string. Everyone knows the answer for this. Why location is not a string? Yes, no,
Yes.
please, someone react.
Yes.
Ashwini.
Yes. Yes, Vinod.
Anyone
Because we need to
know? You
store.
can let me. If anyone is telling no, please speak up. I'll explain it again. Okay. I'm going very slowly today because I want everyone to understand this. Any question which I write here, if you don't understand, please let me know. Okay. Then why do we need a collection for exits or for location?
Yes.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
Why the location collection has to be a key value and not just a simple array list. Everyone knows why?
Yes, Vinod.
Then next one. 4. Why do we need the exit collection inside the location? Everyone knows the answer? If not, please speak up.
Exits. I don't understand. Fourth one. Why do we need the exist collection inside the location?
Sorry, not exist. Exit exactly. Yeah, exit collection. That is this variable. Why do we need it, and why do we have to declare it here?
Yeah, I understand this one. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I mentioned there. Question number 5. Everyone has answer?
Yes, yes.
Line 6 is understood. Point 6.
Yes.
Everyone clear on point number 7? Point 7 is clear to everyone? Lalita is having a question.
Vinod, can you scroll down to 47 to 52?
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lalita.
okay, okay. This is what I wanted to know.
Okay. So all clear so far?
Yes, Vinod.
Now, remember in the beginning of the class, I asked you how to design this game, correct?
Yes.
My question was more on these 7 points. Are you getting how we started off? I do understand. Actually, I did not expect anyone to answer this. I just wanted to keep your mind thinking. So don't go under the impression that I could not answer that, so I'm not fit enough. Nothing like that. Everyone who actually goes through this classroom, who is fresher for the collections and everything, cannot answer this. I understand that. But the reason I ask it because I wanted you to start keep thinking. Why? When you keep asking why, you get the answers.
Yes, Vinod.
I don't want to just give an example and keep you just you can handle only this example. I want you to keep thinking so that I come up with a new example, you should be able to handle it. At least start off handling it. If not fully solve it, at least start off. So can I expect that when you get any question like this, at least you will start off telling that, okay, such and such a collection has to be used. We cannot use such and such a collection, and it has to be an object. It cannot be a string or anything. At least that part of it, I want everyone to start off based
Yes,
on
Vinod.
this. And you can take time. It doesn't mean if the interviewer gives you this question, immediately you don't need to answer. Think to yourself.
So,
Keep your mind working for 5-10 minutes. The solution will come.
So, do we expect such kind of questions in the interview, Vinod, for collections?
Let me put it this way. If you don't get it, you're lucky. Okay. But if you're getting it and if you can solve it, then you get your job. It's as simple. They would be excited. Person who would be answering. I mean, if you answer such a question, right, you will definitely get your job. Okay. And I can say 50-50. It's a chance of 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruchi, any question? I can see your hand raised.
Just wanted to unmute.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Can we proceed now?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. Now let me add some simple functions to location. Remember encapsulation, we make everything private, but we have a get function.
Getter, yes.
Yeah, so I'm just setting 3 getters to get the location ID, to get the description, and to get the map exits. Okay, so these are 3 simple functions. Let me move on quickly. Okay. Anyone has any questions there? I don't think it's any questions, right? It's simple. I just have getters for all the three properties. All right. So moving on. Now comes the interesting part. Let's design the okay, give me a minute. Give me 1 minute, please. I'm just okay. I'll do one more thing. Please don't get confused. Just one more. Okay. I'll add a new list or a map. Okay. You just understand that. You'll just understand that in simple terms. Let me do that. I added a map. Let me keep this hash map. I added a hash map just to relate all the four properties. So here we have E for east, W for west, south for S, and north for N. So this is just a list so that it helps us to better understand. It's just a vocabulary. Okay.
Yes.
So don't get confused. Now, finally, let me put a. Give me a minute. Where is my mouse? Yeah. Let me do this. I will declare a scanner. Yeah. Okay. I have a scanner to take inputs. Okay. Now I'll put a while loop for us to work. All right. I'll just put the while loop. We'll work on it and then I'll show you how it is working. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just making some code here. Don't ignore the code for now. I'll just come back to that. And one more change I want to do is my constructor. I want to do this. I'll tell you why I do this now. Okay. I put for every location. I do I add a default exit which with the keyword as Q, and location comes back to 0. That is to the beginning.
Okay.
Q is nothing but quit. You could have probably seen it here. Q is nothing but quit. Just like north, south, east, west, I have Q for quit. All right.
Yes, Vinod.
So let me minimize the code so no one confuses with that. Let's play the game. You are standing at the end of the road before a small brick building. Okay. These are all the available exits. Q, S, E, N, W. Okay. Now it is asking me where do I want to go. Let me go north. Now I am in the forest. Okay. From forest, it is telling me I can go to the quit south or west. Correct. From forest, I can go to the south direction, which will go to the road, or west, it will go to the hill. Let's see how it works. Let me put a west. Let me go to the west. Enter. Now I'm on the hill. From the hill, I can go. I think this small. Can you see now? From the hill, I can go to the quit or north. Now I'll say north. It goes back to the forest. Okay. If I go south, it goes back to the road. Okay. From the road, let me go east. It goes to the small building. Are you able to remap it to this one?
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, Vinod.
Yeah, Lalita, I have unmuted you.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah, I'm following. Actually, I have a question, but I understood later. Why exit has a hash map, but later I understood that.
Okay. Now, can you see using collections with very minimal amount of code, we are able to design a wonderful game?
Yes, Vinod.
I did not write any if else condition.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
agree?
Yeah.
I did not say that if I'm on road, go to forest. If I'm on road, these are the things available. Nothing. I did not write any if else. Of course, I did write some for loops. I'll show you those loops. But in simple, the design you understood, and with the design, you can see what I have achieved, right?
Yes.
Now it is a dynamic game. That is why we had everything as a collections. If I
Vinod, I have a
pass,
question.
Tell me, Rishu.
Where are you fetching the values?
I'll show you the while loop.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll show you the while loop. But you can see that all I created was 3 collections: one for exits, one for the locations, and one for vocabulary.
Yes, 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 Vinod.
Using these 3 collections, I'm able to play the game, right?
Yes, Vinod.
So you can see how the whole, you can read through this. 1 minute. Yeah, I've expanded it. You can read through this. Now, based on whatever we gave, it is giving us all this data. From anywhere, I can go anywhere. So right now we are in the building. From the building, the only option available is west, or I can quit. So let me go to the west. Now I am on the road. I can go to all the 5. Let me go south. Now I am on the valley. From the valley, I can go north to the building, to the road, west to the, what is that on the west? I forgot, hill. I can go north to the road and this to the hill, correct?
Yes.
Are you able to understand this?
Yes.
Are you able, do you find it interesting?
Yes, very
Vinod,
interesting.
Yeah.
Can we just map the options instead of the abbreviations QSE, the directions? You can tell that the name and the direction and where he will go, like hill or
Yeah. It's
forest
up
or
to you.
valley.
It's up to you. I'll show you my while loop, how I have
Yeah,
printed on.
yeah,
You
we
can print
can.
anything you want. See, you can give a proper sentence telling that, okay, now you can go to these locations. You can create a functionality like that. It's your business requirement. I just kept it simple like this, but you can do anything.
Can we just go through the code once, because now we can better understand that after seeing the
You want to go through the initialization, or you want to go through the game functionality?
game
There are 2
functionality quickly.
Game functionality. I haven't even started. I'll explain you that. Don't worry. But you understood the initial part where I initialize the locations, I initialize the exits, I
Yeah,
initialize
that
the
part,
vocabulary.
can we quickly go through that?
Okay. I'll show you only that part. I'll not show you the while loop. We'll go through the while loop slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'll show you till here.
Yeah, this part. How it is getting the values and all that,
Okay. 1 minute. So this is the whole code. Nothing more than that, right? We have a hash map for all the locations, and we have created 6 different locations. Every location has a name and key, and we have, for every location we are adding exits, and for every location we are adding it into the locations collection, that is this location collection, so that we can do a for loop and all that. Then we have vocabularies which we'll use later, and every location has a collection of exits which we can add using this function add exit, which we are doing it here. That is line number here, add exit. For every location we are calling this function, and that will get added to this collection here as exits. and this is a collection of string comma integer, because when I say north, where does it go? When I say west, where does it go? It's a collection of key value that is nothing but direction comma location ID. Direction comma location ID. Are you getting
But
the point?
actually, we know can't we have only one string or integer? Anyway, these are grouped in other hash maps, right? So can't we have only one here? Only
We are
one
having
string
only
or
one, right?
integer?
See, I don't want to say that. If I see, if you have just a string or an integer, let's say you go with an integer, array
Yeah,
list of
because
integer.
anyway it is a pair,
One minute,
right?
one minute. I'll go with the list of integer. Okay. How many list items would you have? Say,
3 we
okay.
have.
I'll let me not comment this. Okay. Whose question is that? Sorry.
Lalita.
Lalita. Okay. So let me take private final. You want to go with array list, right? Correct? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Integer. Okay. I'll say Lalita's exit, L exit. Correct?
Okay.
Now, let me not make this final so that I don't get any errors. Okay. For that reason, I'll just remove this. Now, you want to say that you will be adding. Okay. Let's say we'll be doing a new here itself. New array list. Okay. Now you'll say L exit dot add. What do you want to add? You cannot do it here. You have to do it inside a constructor. I'll do it here. Okay. L exit dot add. What do you want me to add? 0 1 2 3 4 5.
Yeah.
Others, if you're getting confused, I'm just doing it wrong way. It's not the right way, so don't get worried. This is the wrong way, and I'm going to teach why it is wrong. Okay. So this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Now,
5.
okay. Actually, 5. Actually, you wouldn't be doing this. You would be doing something like here. When we add the exit, you want to ignore the direction. You want to just do L exits dot add just the location. Correct? What are all the exits? Am I right?
Yeah.
So basically, for this location, these are the exits. For these location, these are the exits. Correct? You want to do just this. So what Lalita wants to do is, for road, you'll have 5 exits. Why do you want to keep it as direction comma exit? Just keep it as 5 different exits. Correct? But in my game, when I play, I would be giving inputs. What are the inputs? Yeah. When I say north, I'll go to this forest. When I say south, I'll go to this place. How do I decide that? Because of the direction. If there are no directions, I will have to say, okay, go to exit number 3, go to exit number 4, go to exit number 5. It won't be meaningful. Do you agree? So Lalita, I'll just repeat myself.
Yeah.
Now, road has 4 exits. So it will
Yeah.
be 1, 2, 3, 4. Building has 1 exit. This will be 1. So hill will have 2 exits. This will be 1 and 2. So now I'll have to say, when I'm on the hill, I'll have to say, go to exit number 1, go to exit number 2. If I'm on the road, go to exit number 3. If I'm on the building, go to exit number 1. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not meaningful. Humans won't understand.
Yeah.
But when I make it north, south, east, west, everyone can understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to go with the index. I want to go with the key value pair. When I say north, what is the direction it should go? When I say south, it should go. It's a key value pair where the key is the direction.
Yeah.
So for that reason, inside the location, I don't want it to be just a simple array list. I want it to be a hash map with a string that is a direction and integer location ID. All right. Okay. You want me to keep this code, everyone?
Vinod,
Yeah.
no, I don't. I'm not talking about this code. There in line number 19, no, you have put this dot exist dot put. Put is a inbuilt Java's method.
Sorry. I think I said that. Let me repeat that point. Put is nothing but add. When you have array list, you do add, right? Just like that.
Okay.
For collections, you do a put. For hash map, you do a put. Just the predefined variable. Put is equivalent to add. I'll just write it here.
Okay. Oh, we are initializing it here because this is the constructor.
Yeah. Put
in line number 19, we are initializing it as quit as 0. Quit
understanding. Because from anywhere I want to quit. I should be able to quit from all the locations, so I'm doing it in the constructor itself.
Okay.
Instead of doing this, I could have removed this. Okay. Instead of doing this, I could have done it here. For every location, say in this case, I could have done L1. And here I could have done, okay, add exit. I could have done this for all the locations.
Okay. And that's what we are doing in line number 53, 54 and all.
Yes. Sorry, I lost 1 minute. Okay. This is the actual code, and because we are repeating it for all the location, I will comment this out. Because it is repeating for all the code. That is the only reason. Because repeating the code is not a good practice. So I have done it here. So I have mentioned put for map is same as this. I'll just put it in quotes so everyone understands. Put for map is same as add for list. All right.
Yes.
Rishu, are you clear?
Yes, Vinod, I am.
Lalita, are you clear?
Yeah, yes, Vinod.
Naina, I think you are new to the classroom, right? I can make sure, I do understand that many things might have not been understood, but are you able to find it interesting?
Yes, Vinod. I have a bit of confusion. I need to go through once again, but I'm able to understand the
Suppose you
game.
have directly come to this classroom, but if you have gone through the basics, it will be easy. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And others, maybe let me ask Chandana. Swapna.
Yeah, I have understood. I have to again go through the little bit of theory and then come into this.
Ponmani.
Yes, yeah, I understood. Yeah, actually pre-requesting video I have read it today, so somewhat I will be understand, but I want to go through again. Based on code, I have to practice.
So I'll just repeat myself. Don't worry if you have not understood it fully. Okay. But if you have gone through the prerequisite videos, your level of understanding would have been much better. That is point number 1. Point number 2, because you are learning collections from past 2 or 3 days. That's all, right? So it would be a little bit confusing. I understand. Everyone would be in the same level, so don't get discouraged. But I'm just putting you in the difficult path so that anything easy you'll be able to crack it. Okay, that is my approach. I don't want to teach you easy things and then in the interview you'll get difficult things and you'll break up there. No, I don't want to do that. I'm giving you the difficult
helpful, actually.
Sorry, Swapna?
Yeah, this program was helpful actually to understand.
Just like, now you understand why I introduced that while loop yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the same lines here, I've introduced this game because now you can map it. Now all these things, whatever I've taught you, is actually difficult topics, but I'm trying to put it in a way where you can understand it. And now if you spend time, you'll understand many things. All right. So in most of the classrooms, you actually, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question, Vinod. Yeah, here you have used linked hash map, right? That's why you're defining key pair values. For adding the values, you are using put keyword, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, for confirm, I have asked you. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. No problem.
Vinod, for the get exit function in the same, if you just scroll down a little bit to the last function in this, returning that exit, right? Why did you create an object? Because we already have the exits. Why do you create a new hash map string integer there in the return statement?
Pratibha, right?
Yeah.
Good, Pratibha. This is really a very good question. Okay, I was supposed to do that, but yeah, I'll tell you why. Okay, first, before I tell you, I want to make sure everyone has understood so far in whatever I've covered.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, Vinod. Vinod,
Yes,
can we go
Vinod.
to that entry play once, just once?
Sorry?
Entry.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you come down? This location dot put of 0, L0.
0 is the key for the location. I told you, if you don't understand this, right, I'll make it A, but I have to make it A while adding here also.
Okay. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this put here?
Here.
We are going to add. We are adding.
Yeah, put is nothing but add. Here also I can write it the same.
Yeah, but
put is equivalent to add. You remember array list dot add?
Yes, I understand. But why are we doing like this one, Vinod?
Okay.
Why are we doing it here?
I'll give you a small snippet. Don't get confused. Okay. Without adding it to a list, I cannot do a for loop. I have for loops here, for loops here, for loop here. I need to loop through all the code, right? I need to loop through all the locations. Without it being in a location, I mean, how do I, if I just have L1, L2, L3, I can't put a loop. I'll have to write if else condition. Okay, if I'm in L1, do this, this. If I'm in L2, do this. If I'm in L3, do this. Correct? But I don't want to do that. I want to keep my code as simple as possible. So I put it into a list, and list can be used in a for loop. Correct? I mean, a collection can be used in a for loop. Do you agree?
Yes. While we are playing, we are freezing that location in here. While we are playing, no.
Yeah.
Is that what we are doing in 55 to 60?
We are doing this one. You see the numbers here. 1 is road, 2 is hill, 5 is forest, 4 is valley, 3 is building.
Yes.
And 0 is the initial position. That is what we are doing here. So this is the initial position. I'll just, for better understanding, I'll type it here. this is the road. So I'll say this is 0 comma road, sorry 1 comma road here. This is 2 comma, what is this? Hill. Now are you able to understand this?
But we have already done all these things here, right? In line number 26. No, that is different and
Yeah,
this different.
it is the same idea.
Where are we?
In line number 26,
Seth,
you have done that. Okay, but
actually, you need to refer 18. In 18, we are creating a hash map with a reference like location. So that one only here in line number 55, he's adding.
yes.
Okay.
This
I
I'm
think you are
telling you
getting
here.
confusion with 26 and 55.
Okay, I'll clear your confusion. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is not necessary. That is what is her point. Correct? Let me comment this. I don't need this.
I think
If I don't
Vinod
have
hash
this,
map
why
within
not?
hash map, right?
No. Hash map is important. I think she got that. She is confusing this. I'll just remove this. Okay. And here I don't have to do 0 comma. Now are you clear on the why I'm doing this?
Yes. Yes.
Now we are not repeating ourselves.
If
Correct?
we do like this, then we'll have problems.
It will still work. It will still work. Everything will work. Don't worry. It will still work. Okay. It will work perfectly fine. You can do everything. Okay. The only problem is if I have the location object, okay, I don't know what is its location ID because it's not a problem. Just like if I have an object of Abhi, right? The name of the object would be Abhi. Abhi would be his name, and his age would be 34. Correct?
Vinod,
And in my case, yeah,
yeah, if you run this, what will be the output?
it
When
will
you
still
say
be the same. Everything is still the same. Nothing there. I did not remove an important feature. It is just a feature. Just I wanted to print.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to print that one is the key somewhere down the line. So for that reason, I just wanted to keep that as a property.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Understood?
Vinod, when we have like two values in location,
No, see, the reason you get confused here is because it looks like a key value pair. It
no,
looks like a key
I'm
value.
fine with
Not
that.
a key value pair.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Slow down. No, stop asking questions, please. 1 minute. Stop asking questions. I'll give you a better solution. Okay. In order to not look like a key value pair, I'll say maybe I'll say int points int then int id comma then maybe color string color. Okay, if I have it like this, and here I need to give all the values here 1 comma 1 comma white or something. Now you can clearly see that I'm actually it is correct. What was that? Int
White.
string. Okay.
White come in the bracket is not there for it.
Okay, now this looks like creation of an object. It doesn't look key value pair. Correct. On the same lines, actually before also I was doing a creation of the object, but unfortunately the example is like key value pair. It looks like a key value pair. That is why you got confused between line number 27 and line number 56.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Now we are creating this object and keeping
I'm
it
actually
at
creating a
0.
location. I'm not doing a key value pair. I'm just creating a location. Understood?
Okay.
I'll do a undo now. Okay. Let's see if we can catch it now. Okay. Here I have done the undo. Here I'll do the undos. Okay. Now, are you clear now? Now this is creation of the location. It is not key value pair. Here it is key value pair.
Okay.
Clear to everyone?
Vinod,
Yes,
I
I
have a
have to
question.
go through this again.
Okay, sure. I've explained it. Just understand the way I've explained it. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rishu,
Vinod.
you had some question?
Yeah, so in the line number 55, so for every key like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are storing objects as a value, right? So there will be two values stored for the values of 0 key.
No,
One
there'll
will
be
be,
just one. There'll be just one.
there will be just
Why
one.
will it be two? Just L0 is the only object which is stored at 0.
Okay. Okay.
But Vinod, L1 and L1, 1 is storing as the integer and L1 also has two values, right? 1 and the road.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. Just hold on your mind for 1 minute. Don't ask me anything else. I'll just finish this. Then I'll tell you what I have done. 2 is hill. 3 is what? Valley, right? No, 3 is building.
3 is building.
4 is
4
valley. Valley.
and finally 5 is
Forest.
okay. Now this whole thing I will write it as a object. It's actually called syntax of JSON, that is JavaScript notation, but don't worry what is that and all that. I'll just write something, you'll understand. Okay. Now key 0 has object L0, okay, which in turn has ID equal to 0, comma, name equal to initial position. I'll give just for your understanding, I'll say more things. Points equal to maybe 5, and color maybe equal to white, etc. These are properties of the object 0, L0. Okay. Now I'll just repeat this. Now at line number key 1, we have L1, which has a ID 1, which has a name as road, and points maybe 15. I'm just coming up with the example. This could be red. So now the same lines. This could be 2. This could be 2. This could be 2. Name will be hill, and points could be maybe 3, and color could be yellow. Now you are able to, are you able to identify the difference between this, and this? This is the key, this is the object, this is the property of the object. Yes, no?
So
Vinod.
Vinod,
Yes, Vinod.
Yes.
how are we deciding that what property of object will be stored for the key? Like for 0.
I decided that based on this image. This was my question, right? In this image, I have been instructed that building has a property of 3. I have been instructed that hill has a property of 2. So I need to store it.
Okay.
If I was instructed with something else, I would have done that.
So Vinod, do you suggest that before we start writing the program, that what you showed just now, is it a good practice to first sketch like that before starting
Yes.
to write a
So
program?
first of all, when you have a program to be resolved, right?
Yeah.
When you have a question, start off with what are the data types? What are the data? Here we
Okay.
have 5 different locations. So let me design the location. That is how I started, right? If you watch the video again, I would have started it like that. So we have all these things. First, let me design 5 different locations, and every location has an ID and a name. That is how I started.
Okay.
Then I initialized all the locations.
Okay.
Then I added all the locations to the list.
Okay. Okay.
Then I created exits for every location.
Okay. I think,
And then I initialized the exits for all the locations. So
Okay.
I went step by step. So you have to understand how I went step by step, and for any questions, follow the same procedure.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Vinod.
All right, everyone understood this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Vinod.
So are you okay with my way of teaching?
Yes,
Yes,
Vinod.
Vinod.
Yes,
Yeah,
Vinod.
it was good.
Yeah, it
All
makes
right.
more sense when you practically demonstrate all the theory part.
Yeah.
The
If I just
examples you
give
give are
you
very
any...
nice.
Sorry?
The examples you give are very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. All right. So now you have understood all this, right? Shall I move on to the next topic? Not the topic, don't
You're
worry. I'm
going
not
to
going...
show us the
Next,
while
while
loop.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just going to explain the while loop. Okay.
Vinod,
Yeah.
my question.
It's okay. You can ask me.
No, the about the why you didn't
So
have the
I
creator.
forgot that. Yeah. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Tarani, can you speak up? Tarani, any issues? You can unmute and speak up. Okay. Send unmute request.
Vinod, this is Pratibha. I was asking about that.
Yeah, no. Actually, I want to bring up one more point. That is, yeah, Tarani, I have sent you unmute request. Can you unmute and speak? Okay, you have a high background noise. Okay. Just one more suggestion. If possible, I request everyone to unmute and speak instead of sending me questions, because every time I look into the question, I get distracted. Sorry to say that, but when I'm slowly going step by step, right? Just to read the answers, it takes my distraction. It is a kind of a distraction for me. So if possible, okay, I think Tarani has a lot of background noise, so she's not able to speak up. But if possible, I prefer you send me, I mean, you unmute and speak up instead of sending me yes, no in the messages. Okay. Yeah. This is just a suggestion, so let me continue. Okay. So let's move on. So the question was, this here, hash map, right? Why do we have to create a new hash map? Okay,
Yes.
this is a wonderful question. Just give me 1 minute. I just need to note down something. Pratibha, you asked me this question, right?
Yeah, Vinod.
1 minute. 1 minute, Pratibha. Please hold on. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'm back. So yeah, to answer your question, yesterday remember I covered something about pass by value, pass by reference. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Whenever you pass a array, a collection or everything, by default it is going as pass by reference.
Yes.
Do you agree? So if I, in my entry class, actually I can do something like location as L0, for example, or maybe there is a restriction. Let me give you a good example. Now from building, I have just one exit, correct? That is to the road.
Okay.
Correct. Now I can do something like L1, sorry, L3, right? L3 is my building. Dot get exits dot put, and I can give a new exit. Let me put 5 and forest. Okay, key as to the north. If I go to the north, I should be able to go to 5 location. I can do this, which is kind of hacking, because you are exposing your exit. Okay, I can edit it and create a path here between 3 and 5, which is not allowed. Correct.
Okay.
I may sound a little technical. Ignore it if you are not able to understand. If you're not able to understand, it's fine. This is not that very important. I'm just answering her question. Okay. Now, if I'm passing by reference, I should be able to edit it. I mean, I am able to edit it.
Okay.
So I can hack it. I can add my own exits.
Okay.
Which is going to be a problem in games. I should not allow to happen, right?
But it is a final, right? Exits is a final.
Exits is not a final. Is it final? Okay, yeah, that's the problem. Because it is final, it is the final for reference, not for the value. You can keep adding exits as we are doing it here. We are adding exits here, right? We are adding these exits, we are adding. Now I'm telling this example that this is outside the world of this class.
Yeah,
we have
I
an
get
entity
it.
here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you assume that you are exporting this and giving it to a third party, they can exploit it like this. Let me give you an example where it happens. Assume that, okay, let me minimize the code so that you don't see the code. Okay, I'll give you a practical example now. Okay, now assume that you are working in Microsoft in the product like Excel. Okay, and you have created a function where people can edit the Word document or edit the Excel document. Okay, and you have exposed it to the outside world. Now, just because it is exposed to the outside world, people can hack and edit your Excel. Correct?
Okay.
Hackers can come in and they can edit it. It is as good as telling that you are allowing someone to edit who is not supposed to have a edit permission.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you are passing by reference, that happens. So instead of passing by reference, if you want the object to be passed as a value, I mean not as a value, but in reality you want to pass a copy of that object. So even if it changes, the others are not affected.
Okay.
Okay, so what I am doing here is I am actually making a copy of it. When I say I create a new object of it and pass it, I don't pass the exit. I make a copy of exit and pass it. So if he changes also, my exit doesn't change. Pratibha, did you understand or?
Yeah, I get it, Vinod. So for now, based on this current declaration
Okay.
definition,
Okay.
the exit is a
I'll split
final,
this.
but you are
I'll
trying to
split this.
make the
I'll split this
hash
and
also as
understand
a
it.
final.
No, wait. Copy this. I'll keep the variable name as temporary exit, temp exit, which I don't use in the game. equal to this. Now does it make sense? I am making a copy of it and passing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it.
So if anyone changes something, listen 1 minute. If anyone makes some changes now, it will only affect temp exit, not this. Remember yesterday's example? Okay, I'll try to open the example. Give me a minute. I think I remember where it is. Not this one. Customer. Where is my collections? This example. Yeah. Luckily, I landed in the right place.
Okay.
Remember this example? When one of the value changes, both the values were getting changed.
Yes.
Because I did this line number. But instead, if I take a copy of it and then change it, here you can see both the values are changed. Correct? But instead of line number 38, if I comment this and uncomment this, now if I run this, only one of the value gets changed. Correct?
Yeah.
Because it becomes a copy of it. I have my initial array. I'm creating a copy of it with another array. Okay.
So how does the value of initial array copied into another array?
Actually, in this one, it is not happening. It is two different arrays. That's all.
So
But
how do we do it? If we have to copy, we have to manually copy it like looping mechanism.
it is not possible to do a copy of arrays like this, but it is possible to do a copy of array list. And the syntax is what I showed you.
Okay.
That is here. If you just pass new and to the constructor you pass existing hash map or existing collection, it will make a copy of it. This is a constructor, right? If you keep this empty, it will create a new one. If you keep this like this, it will create a copy of it. That is the syntax.
Okay.
Okay. So others, if you have not understood, ignore it. It's okay. It's not that much important. But you will have to understand what is pass by value, pass by reference. That much is good enough.
So
okay.
if we
Now
have,
this is kind of a security. That's all.
So for any of these collection objects, right, for that matter, for any objects, even though we declare them as final, if we don't want that get to be modified outside, do we have to do something
I'll
like
tell
this?
you what is the difference between final. Okay, you're getting confused because it is final. How is it changing, right? Final.
No, I understood that part because final is only for the reference of that exits.
Yeah, that's like if I repeat this line number 18. Here is where I'm declaring it, right? I mean defining it.
Yes.
If I repeat this, it will give me error.
Yeah.
Because it is final, you can define it only once.
Okay.
That is what it is allowing. But because it is a hash map, you can keep adding data. I'm just adding data.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
Okay.
I've answered almost all the questions you asked me today, and I hope I have given you the clarity. Was the class interesting? Did you understand everything, everyone?
Yes, we know. It was.
Okay. Before I close,
while loop.
Yeah, I'll explain the while loop. Okay. So actually, while loop is self-explanatory. I'll try to explain still. Okay. I just initially I print location.get location.get description. What does get description do? It will give you the statement description, which is nothing but initially, if you remember, we have initialized the description here. These are the descriptions, right? For every location, we are giving the description. Correct?
Yes.
So when we play the game, I'll play the game and I'll show you. So every time, if you're in road, it will give you this description. From road, if I go to west, it will give me top of the hill, which is my description. You are on the top of the hill. This is the description we gave here, right? See?
Yes.
And from here, if I go to north, you are in the forest. This is the description we gave here. So to do this, I have this system print. Okay. And if I have a location equal to 0, I break. That is for quit. Remember quit, which was added in the location 0?
Yes.
If I go back to the initial position, it will be quit. You remember each line I was adding here. Finally, I moved it to the location here because it is repeating. So if I do as a quit, that is Q, the game will be over. That I'm handling it in the while loop with this break with line number 96 until it goes to the location 0. The game keeps continuing. All right.
Yes.
Now, for every location we get the exits. Okay, and we loop through it, and we print all the options. That is, here you see list of Q, S, E, N, W. This is coming from this for loop. Exit, comma, exit, comma, exit. All the exits I'm just printing. All the available options. Because when I'm in the hill right, I cannot go west. Let me try that. Okay. Now I'm in the forest, I cannot go north, correct? But if I insist, it will tell you cannot go in this direction. So as a help, it is giving you all the available directions. That is what is happening here. This is giving you all the available directions. And here, if the direction is not found, it will tell you cannot go in that direction. Sorry, it is done here in the else part. If the direction is not available, it will print this. If the direction is available, it will change the location. That is happening here. How is that happening? LOC. LOC is the initial position. We start off with 1, that is the road. So the game is starting with the road. That is what is happening. I'll just type it here. Game is starting from road. So ID is 1. Okay. If I make this maybe 3 and rerun this game, I'm starting with the house. See, building. If I make this as 2, I'll start with the hill. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
So just by changing this variable, I keep changing my location, correct? And based on the exit I take, the location is modified. That is done here. In that particular direction, get me the location. In that particular direction, get me the location. So from the exits collection, I'm getting the direction which I mean location I need to move, and I'm updating the current location. And based on the current location, next time everything prints again. It is a kind of a recursive function where it keeps looping and looping and looping until I go to the 0. I can understand you cannot understand this in the 5 minutes. That's okay. If you watch it slowly, you can understand. That's why I did not show you this code so long, because I didn't want to confuse you. You have now understood the initialization part, right?
Yes.
So now I kept this on hold so that I don't give you too much information. Now that you have understood all the initial part well, this while loop is nothing. It is just a normal loop, just like what we did yesterday. All right.
Vinod, yeah, I have a question. Like, location, I mean, in the initial map, we are having one value and then an object. So if I'm storing values in that object, can I retrieve it in current one?
Sorry?
I mean, say for example, in the line number 94, you are like locations dot get loc dot get description. Description is one. You are passing it in the
Okay, 1
location
minute.
class.
I'll make a small change. It will be easy for you to understand. In the
Okay.
while loop, what I'll do, I'll declare location, current location equal to location dot location of get. Now I'll use a current location dot description. I'll print the current location dot description. I'll print the current. I'll get the current location dot get exits. Now does it make sense?
Yes. Yes, Vinod.
The best way you can understand this is by debugging this. Go right click, insert breakpoint, run it. It will come till here. Oh, sorry, you shouldn't run it. You should debug it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here it will debug. Then come to the next line. Come to the next line. See, in this line, I come here. You see the output. This is printed. Now keep going. Keep going. Now it should print available exits are in the for loop. First it will print Q. Then again it will print S. It will print E. Are you observing the output below? Please keep your attention here in this place. Okay, it is printing exits one by one. Okay, then system.println. Then now it is asking for scanner.next line. Now it is expecting an input, and I should give an input here. Now I'll do a N. I'll go north. Now it is continuing. Now it will continue. Now it will print. It will check whether the direction is available. Okay, and it will get the. It will change the location. Now location, it was 1 before, now it has become 5, because from my exits it got to know that I need to go to the 5. Okay. Now it is actually, it will go to the while loop again. Now this time again it will print you are in forest, and because it is not 0, it will not break. Down for the forest I have to print all the exits, that is Q, then followed by S, followed by W. Then finally it is asking for me, where do you want to go?
Can you give north, south, whatever the word instead of the?
Yeah, you can. That was actually supposed to be assignment. Okay, I'll do it. 1 minute, wait. Here I did an N. Now it is just going here. Now it is checking whether it is. See, now it did not contain it. The exits did not contain the direction. That is, contains key was returning false. So it will print no, it's not possible. So the location does not change. You cannot go in this direction. Again, it prints everything from the beginning. Okay, now if I go, I can. I hope I'm making sense, right?
Yeah.
Am I clear? So the best way to understand the while loop is to execute it one by one, step by step. Debug it. Guys, I hope I am clear,
So
right?
what is the purpose of the direction length greater than 1, that block?
It is just to contain. You remember string? In string, I told if you want to find index, and if you find a character, if it is more than 1, it means it is found. If not, it is not found. In an array or in a list, if you are searching for something, and if the result is -1, that means to say it is not found. For example, I'll give you an example.
No, what I'm asking is.
Yeah, I'll explain. Give me 1 minute. Where shall I type it? Okay. How to search a collection. Use the contains function if the return value is greater than 0. Okay. greater than or equal to 0, or let's do it if the return value is less than 0, that is negative, then it's not found. If it returns greater than or equal to 0, then the return value is the index of the item you are searching. Does this make sense? These 4 lines.
But Vinod, in case of hash map, it returns true or false, right? For contains or
I think so. Let's not confuse others. You can give it a try.
just wanted to clarify, like
Yeah,
0
yeah,
1.
yeah, sure. That's absolutely right. I just want to minimize what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm keeping it generic for all collections. This is usually this way. There are some exceptions. If once you start working on it, your common sense will help you to understand that. I mean to say that why is it different and things. If not, you can also Google search. It will tell you why is it different and all that. But in general, this holds true even for a string, not just for collection, even for a string. Remember the string example. So if I have a this also holds true for string. Okay, in string, what you'll be doing, if I have an example Vinod, and if I say string name equal to Vinod, and if I say name dot get index, I think, yeah, get index, or I'm not sure. Let me try it. Okay, give me a minute. Copy this. Let me put it here. I'll just undo it. I want to. I don't remember the name of the function. I'll just. I think index of. I think. Yeah, index of. Okay, I'll just delete this. Just like the contains, name has index of. Index of. If I say v, the result will be 0. If I say whole thing, if I say this to be O, this will return 0 1 2 3. Okay, I'll give one more example. If I say D, it will return 4. Okay, and on same lines, if I say Z, which is not there, it will give me -1. So in general, in Java, if you're finding for something and if the result is -1, that means to say it is not found. And if the value returned is greater than or equal to 0, then it means to say the return value is the index where it found it. Did I make sense?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. Others, did you find it? Did you understand it or no?
Yes, I have understood.
Understood it. We need to revisit
Okay.
this video again.
Can you please repeat, Vinod? I didn't understand that.
Okay. So you understood this line, string name equal to Vinod?
Yes.
Okay, I'll execute it. You'll understand. I'll copy this. I'll stop the execution. I'll go to the project. Let me go back to my collection example 3 entry class. Okay, I'll go here. I'll just do this. I'll uncomment everything, and I'll do a system out of everything. I'll just have the semicolon. Just stay with me for 2 minutes. I'll run this. See the output. Give me a minute. Yeah, see the output. When I search for V, it says 0. When I search for I, it says 1. When I search for Z, it says -1. When I search for D, it says 4. When I search for A, it says -1. So whatever it finds, it will give the index of it. Whatever it doesn't find, it will give the index as -1. Is this clear?
Yeah.
On the same lines, now I'm doing it for here. Where is that? Yeah. Where was that?
I
This
think
one, right?
line 122, right?
122. Oh my god, this was not needed at all actually. I'm sorry, I really confused you. This is not needed.
Yes, we never use the north south.
Yeah. So basically that line was actually for different purpose. I'll explain this. Now see, it is still working. I need to see west. Not available. North. Okay, everything working fine. Clear? Now I'll tell you why this is there. Okay, this was for a different purpose. This was only to support the extra vocabulary that when I get this, I can say N-O-R-T-H, north. It still works. I can say W-E-S-T, west. That is the only difference. So here I'm checking if whatever I have entered is greater than 1 character. If it is greater than 1 character, it will search the vocabulary and get the key. You remember the vocabulary I did here?
Yes.
That is what it is doing.
Okay.
Yes, now we get it. Yes.
My question was,
Mm-hmm.
why we have a split function there? That is what I wanted to ask, but you stopped me before that.
Okay, but you're clear, right? No? Are you clear?
Yeah, I understood that part. Why it has that block of code is to support the.
Okay. Shall I tell you why I have a split? Shall I tell you that? I can type in like that. Now this game is one step ahead. I can say go north. It still works because it's splitting and it is checking for every word, and it is doing uppercase also. I can say go east. It cannot go in that direction. I can say move east. That also will work. I can say just east. That also will work. And I can say
this
just
was my
W.
question. Okay, got it.
So this simple code is actually doing a lot more things. I didn't actually mean to put it here, but because it was there in my template, I just came here.
Okay, got it.
So you can see, so we have achieved so many things, right? Ready? Yes, no?
So many things. Yes.
Happy? Not happy? Confused. Sorry?
I just said it's just too much for one day, so that's what I was just saying. But it's interesting to learn all this.
Yeah. So actually, if you watch the video 2-3 times, it will be very interesting. You'll understand each and every flow of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my suggestion would be, do not copy paste the code. Okay. Watch the video. Do it line by line like I did. I first created the location class, then I created a couple of variables for it, properties for it, then I created the constructor for it, then I created the entry class, I initialized some of the things. I wanted to go like that.
Yes,
And in every step I wanted to do it.
Is there going to be any assignment today?
This is the assignment.
Let me not give you an assignment, but I hope everyone does this.
Thank
Can I
you.
expect
I
that?
just wanted to ask, it will be better if you could give it something similar to that, but in a different context, so they can work fresh on that.
Okay,
Instead
because
of copy
it is
pasting.
very brand new, I'll
Yeah.
make sure this itself is your assignment. I want everyone to do the same.
Vinod,
okay?
What is the exit condition in this case? Like exit from
Exit
the
is
game
quit.
application?
Q. Exit is
Okay.
Q. Quit. So I can say Q or I can say quit. The game is quit. Now I am back to the 0 position.
Okay.
You're sitting in front of your computer learning Java. All right.
Yes.
Yes, Vinod.
Okay, let's wrap the class here. These days, all the classrooms are going more than 3 hours. I'm getting tired. Okay, actually, the idea is this. Okay, I'll just stop the recording. Give me a minute. It's been a huge, long recording. I'll stop it here. Okay.